Cool.
All right.
J Dub, what's been happening, brother?
Same old, brother. Just heading to the crib. I'm about 5. But hey, man, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, man. Sony is in a league of their own. Their studios are in the league of their own. The management team is in the league of their own. There is really nobody that can compete with them and dominate for the higher echelon of gaming. I mean, PlayStation is gaming right now.
Yeah, no complaining from me. That trailer blew me away. I was speechless for like 1 minute, like, wow.
Now, that was a question. That was a question, Craig, and the question was, what can Microsoft do to combat games like that? Or can't, like, even now, right, after all these studios, does Microsoft even have the will and the want to create high-level, high-end, graphical, mature-rated games for their platform?
Well,
and I'm not talking about any of the alien, that fake alien cartoony type stuff, the art style stuff. I'm not talking about that. But I mean,
Hellblade 2, from just what I've been told, is that game. It's going to be their foray into that area. Now I was also told that they're going to hit Sony as hard as they can. Starting in, I guess they're going to do something in July. I just got all these months big stuff in my head. I don't know if it's late June or July. They're going to hit Sony as hard as they can with a lot of games. They're going to show Fable, possibly Splinter Cell, and again, it's on PC and Splinter Cell. Of course,
Craig. Hey, first of all, Craig,
for 7 years, Craig.
I'm gonna need you to stop, Craig. I'm gonna need you to stop because Microsoft ain't gonna show nothing that looks better than No Last of Us Part 2. You need to knock it off right now.
No, I mean, they do have some boomers in the bin, but I'm not. J-Dub asked a legit question. I'm just trying to.
What boomers? Boomers.
Well, I mean, again, from what I understand, Fable is going to be here. It looks really good.
Hey, you see the difference? You see the difference between PlayStation and Xbox? It's always this what if Xbox. It's always a what if. Well, I think they're going to show this. What if they show this and they compare it to the actual tangible things that we're seeing from PlayStation?
No, you're right about that. You're right. That's not the question, though. What games? J-Dub's question specifically is what games do you think they're going to show? Well, they're going to hit. Microsoft's going to hit Sony as hard as they can, starting in July, because that's all they got. No choice. So
they're having an event in July, but
July
I don't think Microsoft and their first party studios pay attention to the attention to detail that PlayStation does. You see the way Last of Us we just saw? We're not just looking at graphics here. We're looking at animation, sound, all those little intricate details they take care of with PlayStation. That's what Microsoft is lacking. They don't take the same type of craft, same type of care in their game.
Their studios don't have the talent. That's just what it is. And I know they got. Listen, Matt Booty said. I know people don't want to hear it. They don't want to see the video. But Matt Booty said, "Look, we bought a bunch of AA and indie studios, and we're gonna try to get them to get close to AAA as possible.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Versus Sony, they going for the gusto. They bought Insomniac. They're buying big studio, the big AAA stuff, not the little small, we may or may not can pull a 69 Metacritic type of game.
You're right. I mean, so they have games that they can go that people like. The Perfect Darks, and these are games that people like. Killer Instinct.
Hey, you are being lied to, Craig.
Nobody like Perfect Dark. There's a reason.
That's what I'm saying. Craig, listen. Let me say something about life for these Xbox dudes. Me and P Rock, we've been in the trenches very hard.
Yeah,
these dudes are lying to you.
They're lying to me. Messiah, I already know what they're going to do.
Bring up Perfect Dark.
Well, they
all that stuff. They're not excited for those games. Trust me.
They can do a sequel to Rise.
Craig, this will happen, right? They really try to save face. In order to save face, like when they saw Battletoads, they were like, oh, yeah.
Exactly, J-Dub.
Like I said, that Battletoad was terrible. I thought you were showing like a gif of a Saturday morning cartoon. I'm like, is that a cartoon? You're like, no, it's a game. Like, that's terrible. That dolphin game they showed, that was cringe as hell. I mean, it was cringe. I don't know what else to say to people.
But I'm just saying, okay, that's why I'm just like, we know we're gonna get a Halo, Gears, and Forza. We know that. That's a given, right? But those games are on the decline. That's the problem.
I agree.
Hopefully Halo can boost it back up. Hopefully it's a big enough change, or maybe hopefully the graphics is next generation. But from what we saw so far, nothing looks better than Sony's current gen stuff.
I agree. But look, I want to see somebody put a picture of that dude from Halo 5 next to what I just saw. From like the guy from Ghost of Tsushima with blood on his face, and say one is next gen or possibly running on a PC. And then the other one is actually on PS4. But look, from what I just got told 2 weeks ago, they're aiming for 2 years from now. So they're going to hit Sony as hard as they can to slow them down for 2 years.
You know what? You know the funniest thing in the world? The fact that they first showed Last of Us Part 2 gameplay, they thought that was PS5.
Yeah. No. See, I still think D-Batch is full of shit.
Yeah.
I thought D-Batch is full of shit. He knew what it was.
This is what they want. This type of detail. This is what they want. Microsoft is not even close yet. They're not even close to this type of detail yet. Phil Spencer just watched that stream and it was like, oh shit. Delayed this.
I said, oh shit. As soon as she started swimming, the wake in the water, the way the water was breaking around her, I'm like, man, that's actually what the water would do.
You see how she's swimming? You see how she's swimming now?
But where they messed that up, and it could have been an early build, is her hair. When she came out of the water, her hair looked the same. Her hair should have been matted or something. So, but that's it. I mean, she put a knife up to that girl's throat or put a gun to her head. Like, well, I ain't looking at her hair at this point. You know, she was told that bitch to shut up and stuck a knife to her throat. And then before that, that girl's talking about radar kiss from last night. It's like, gee. Yeah, so they got nothing that can compete with that. So they're going to hit them as hard as they can because, like Matt Booty has said, we not going to have nothing for 2 years. So that's it. Their goal is just to survive for the next 2 years.
I feel Xbox is going to try their best to hit Sony as hard as it can.
Yeah,
it's not going to be effective because their craftsmanship is not to the level of detail of what PlayStation is producing.
Well, you're right, but you're looking at it as far as games. They're going to go at Sony and Hip Hop Gamer. Shout out to him. He was speaking about this 2 weeks ago. They're going to go after people with the game services. They're going to say, look, we have all these games back compat, and we have a $1 service. That's what they're going to do. Now, you're asking me, will it be enough? I don't know. I personally don't think it will be enough, but with the economy the way it is, people are going to be a little bit stingy. If they come out with Lockhart and it's doing 1080p, 60 frames a second at high graphic settings, there's going to be a lot of women who go by their sons and daughters a Lockhart because you got to play now with Fortnite and PUBG, and I think Madden. The EA's that's gonna be part of their announcement, how they're gonna support cross-gen, or not cross-gen, but cross-play with FIFA and Madden and the hockey game that's coming out. So all that will be cross-platform. That was a huge victory for Microsoft because they were getting kids. You know, people weren't buying their console because everybody was playing on PlayStation. I mean, those kids, so.
Great. Here's the problem going forward next year. Sony got the rights to Call of Duty. They got the rights to FIFA. Those are two of the biggest multiplayer games in the world, and Sony got those rights, right? Yeah. So what does that tell you? That means, I mean, I hate to say it, if Microsoft is trying to, focus on the multiplayer only going next gen like they did this gen, it's going to be a wrap, man. That's a losing formula.
I don't agree, and I've said to people, and I was told that if they don't do well, the Xbox division, one is going to try to put their games on PlayStation, and two, they're going to sell it to Amazon. It's already set there. That's why that leak about that Gears of War running on PS3. There's a reason why that out. Okay, there's a reason why that leaked out.
No, that was just something that was old that just resurfaced.
Yeah, but
I remember that back then as well.
Yeah,
I remember that.
but there's a reason why all of a sudden that actually got traction. You're right, but it actually got traction. It's because it's already in the works if something goes left, if they don't do as well, which I think they're going to do better, because if they do the Lockhart, that thing's going to sell. I don't care what anybody sells. If somebody walks into a store with minimum money and they say you can play all these games with your friends for $2.99 and get $1 subscription, and I don't have to have you in my face.
Craig, listen, let me tell you the problem with Lockhart. The problem with Lockhart is you still got Xbox One S's and you still got the Xbox One X, and those prices are going to be cheaper. So why? I already got a 1080p machine or /4K machine. Why am I going to spend $2.99, even more money, on a 1080p machine?
It's a pointless box, J-Dub. It's a pointless box.
It's not targeted for you.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't want to sound like the Sony fanboy, the pessimist here, but I don't think Lockhart is gonna sell well, because I go by history, right? It's like checking a credit report, right? Are you gonna give somebody that's not paying their bills a loan, right? They're not on time with their bills. They're late on their bills. You're gonna be like, okay, here's a loan for whatever amount. That's how I look at Microsoft. Microsoft right now have the cheapest consoles out right now. Is it selling, Craig?
Well, it is now because of the pandemic. But yeah,
it's not. It's not. They ain't win MPDs. They're not gonna win worldwide. It's not selling.
No, I agree.
Yeah, it might sell 1,000 here, whatever.
Yeah, they sell a couple of months.
Yeah,
it's not selling. It's not selling.
I don't disagree. Yeah, they thought the power thing would shift the. I mean, you had guys saying, like J-Dub said, you had guys running around talking about when the X comes out, that resets everything. The only thing that got reset was Sony took more space. They took more space in stores. Xbox doesn't have as much space.
You gotta have incentives.
I don't disagree.
You got to have the incentives for the customer to buy your platform. Microsoft is losing the incentive to buy into your platform every single year. No matter how cheap it is, because we've seen it cheap. Right? It's the thing is $200, probably less. You can get it right now.
Yeah.
People are not eating them up.
You get it at $3.99 with a bundle, so you can get a game and a joystick and another gamepad and Game Pass.
You know what funny? You can get an Xbox cheap right now. They bundling Game Pass. They bundling all these things that you guys are saying that is perfect, and they still ain't buying it.
I agree. Yeah.
And Jabari, just what you just said. Today, it's all about the games. And Minecraft Dungeons was not going to save Xbox. Bleeding Edge was not going to save Xbox. Battletoads is not going to save it. None of the stuff they got coming is going to save it.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, I know that. So again, they're just going to throw everything they can at Sony to slow them down. Because like Matt Booty has said, we got nothing for this system. Talk about the Series X for 2 years. So can they at least, I don't know, slow Sony down for the next 2 years? That's all they got left. Can we slow these guys down? Because I agree. What I just saw in that gameplay trailer, my jaw hit the floor. They talk about that girl talking about rape my kiss, and then she's in the water killing people, putting knives through people's throats. I mean, yeah, you're right. Xbox has nothing like that. Coons know that already, so that's just the way it is, So Microsoft does start in July because they gotta hit Sony hard. I mean, they have to at this point.
It's too much. It's too much waiting and seeing for Microsoft, man. We
That's true.
It's time to put up.
They got 52 CUs, so we gotta wait.
All right, so to let y'all know, y'all were live the whole time, and people enjoyed the speak from the heart conversations and stuff like that. So so let me chime in on just the what you guys been talking about, and then we're gonna move on to the main event of the podcast. Talking about greatness and stuff like that. But before we move on, I just want to chime in. You guys, I think a lot of people have expectations of Xbox that's not gonna happen. you got to look at reality, right? Let's look at reality with Xbox. Number one, do they have all their games they want on PC? Yes. Do they have all the games they want on last generation consoles when the next generation consoles begin, right? Meaning Xbox One S, Xbox One X. Yes. And are they going to have their games on next generation console and a potential lower spec version, which is the la carte, aka Xbox Series X? Yes. When Xbox Cloud or xCloud goes live, will all these games now be available on tablets, whether it's Android or iPhone, and e-machines, low-spec laptops, but because you're streaming to it, you can play these games at great fidelity. Maybe not as good as Stadia, maybe better than Stadia, whatever, right? With the amount of devices that Xbox is going to push their games on, they're not concerned with outselling PlayStation 5 because in reality, in their eyes, they have more hardware than PlayStation 5 available to homes. And I don't think people understand that. You know, once all these things come out to play, it doesn't matter what you buy. In fact, you don't even have to buy anything at all, technically, to be an Xbox gamer. You don't have to buy nothing. You know, this little bullshit laptop that I got, that's $300, right, is more than enough to play Xbox once xCloud comes live, right? If I want to stick with my Xbox One, then I stick with my Xbox One. If I want to go PC, then I'll go PC. If I want to buy the Series X, then I'll buy the Series X. If I want to do it the Series S, then I'll play on the Series S. Microsoft is not doing this one-on-one battle with PlayStation 5 because it's not a relevant conversation. It's actually not a relevant goal. You know what I'm saying? If, let's say, Xbox Series X doesn't sell a lick of shit, right? It only sells 14 million, right? But they gained 50 million customers through xCloud. They succeeded. Yeah. They still got 50 million gamers. It's for Microsoft, they're not trying to get gamers through a specific hardware. That phase is over because they accepted defeat. They accepted defeat. It's over. They know they can't beat PlayStation. They know it. So they're not going to try. It's over. So to them, it's like, how can we still get 100 million without actually selling 100 million consoles? Well, maybe they'll get 10, 15 million gamers on PC. Maybe they'll get 10, 15, 20 million gamers through xCloud. Maybe only 10 million buy a Series X. Maybe the majority of the people stay on Xbox One or they upgrade from Xbox One to Xbox One X because it still does 4K. Maybe not as good as the rest of the consoles, but it still to some level does 4K or at least, 1800p upscale. It's still good enough, right? When you combine all these devices, they can still get their 100 million, 200 million audience. Just not the way Sony's doing it, So Sony could be like, hey, we got 150 million console sales and 120 million active users. Microsoft could go, well, Xbox Series X only sold 2 million, but we still got 100 million users because every other device, people decided to play Xbox there. They just didn't want to play on Series X because they think that Series X is a piece of shit. But it doesn't really matter because they're still buying the games, they're still subscribed to the services, so they're making money from them elsewhere. They're still getting the game sales elsewhere. So they don't have to outsell the PS5 in order to gain users, in order to gain gamers, in order to have people game on Xbox.
But Porter Rock, that's what I hate, right? I hate that Microsoft continues to say that it's successful and continue down this route in gaming when they're not putting their best foot forward. They're not giving you the best games. They're not giving you the best stuff for gamers, per se, for the hardcore or even their base at this point. They continue to make money, right? Yeah. By doing very little effort. And so what incentive is it for Microsoft to give you the effort that we really want? To give us the big blockbuster games, to give us a effort to go for the jugular of Sony and Nintendo. They won't do it. And this is why we're getting the games that we're getting. This is why the half-ass delivery that we're getting. And they're the world's richest company, but they fail at gaming.
All right, they
make money off of it. They make money off of it, right?
So I agree with you. Then I disagree, right? Because I agree with the fact that, I see what Microsoft, their intent is and what they're going after. It looks like they're going for more of the numbers rather than the result, right? As far as keep the result, meaning like how do gamers view your platform. I think they barely care because what J-Dub said, I agree with him 100% because they're putting out these mediocre, lackluster titles, but guess what they touted? Oh, but we got this amount of people playing on Game Pass that's doing this here. They're not touting how it's being received from the gamers or anybody else. They're touting that, we got you as a
But look
customer.
why though. But look why. They're 0-3. Well, what do you want them to do? I'm not lying. I'm not saying that to talk, to make a joke. The first Xbox, right?
But
Listen.
You'll always be last place if you don't give it an effort.
Listen, they did. You telling me? But they did though.
PlayStation almost went bankrupt because of the PS3 on their mistakes. You know what they did?
What?
They learned. They understand that they gotta respect the gamers.
But it's different because Sony at least knew what winning a championship feels like. Microsoft still doesn't know what that is. They don't know. PlayStation came out the gate with PlayStation 1 with 100 million sales. Microsoft never did that.
Dirty mom.
But listen, as funny as it is, I mean, look at the Xbox brand and the PlayStation brand. PlayStation 1, when it came out, it changed the gaming industry into an entertainment media from a nerd loser medium. Gaming before PlayStation 1 wasn't as big and popular as it was.
They tried to make the gaming
You understand?
cool to the
Sony made gaming cool, right? And because of it, it sold 100 million consoles, right? And 900 million games right off the gate. Then they released the PlayStation 2, which is the fucking baby Jesus of gaming. You couldn't find the motherfucker to cut out, right? And then the end result is 150 million console sales, and it was the first gaming console that sold 1 billion games. Microsoft doesn't know what the fuck those metrics are. They don't know what it is. They're the Buffalo Bills. They don't know what a championship team is. When they first made their Xbox, it only sold 25 million. Despite Halo, despite Xbox Live, despite the push for online gaming, that's nothing, right? And let's be honest, 360, right? If there was any time that Microsoft put the most amazing effort was with the 360 era, right? They found a way to get Grand Theft Auto day one and get DLC exclusive to them, for a limited time. They convinced the world that BioShock wasn't coming to PlayStation for a whole year. They got Elder Scrolls. They got Mass Effect. They got Mass Effect exclusive for 3 to 4 years, a game that Craig still plays to this day.
By God.
You telling me they got Gears of War exclusive to the platform? They push crazy effort, insane effort. The best multiplayer. Halo 3 was a phenom back then. Halo 3 was such a phenom that they used to talk shit saying, damn, Halo 3 outsold Uncharted, Uncharted, this game combined. They were at the top of their game, right? The best you can possibly do, period, and yet PlayStation still beat them.
Yeah.
A $600 Blu-ray player beat them.
Yeah.
Outsold them by consoles, and it still sold 1 billion games. The $600 Blu-ray player that everybody made fun of sold 1 billion games, while the 360 sold 800 million. They can't win. It's like playing Jordan. When you're at your absolute best and the motherfucker still beats you and he has the flu, you ain't getting a ring. You're not winning this NBA Finals. It's not. The dude had 102 fever and we still lost. You're not beating him. It's just you pick another sport. It's over. You're not.
Jordan,
it's just not. It's just not gonna happen. Phil Spencer's not an idiot. He's not an idiot. He knows we're not gonna go. There's gonna be
about TOIs.
It's not.
Yeah. Well, and Porter Rock, that's what I was saying earlier. And shout out to Hip Hop Gamer because he mentioned the same thing. They can't win. They know it. That's why they've changed their metrics to just engage people. And again, let me say this now. If their games start going down the tubes, that division of Microsoft will go to Amazon, and those games will be on the because that's where else are they going to go? They're on PC. They're going to have them in xCloud. They'll put those games on Mac, and then they will put those games on PlayStation. before anything else, before it sells. But you're right, they can't win. They know it. This is why, as I was trying to explain to Jay Barry and J Dub here, they're going to hit Sony as hard as they can in July. It will be the hardest punch they can throw, and Sony will walk through it. But the all they're trying to do is slow them down for 2 years so that they can get their games on Series X. Now, you had a saying on the Next Gen's podcast. You said the Scorpio is going to do a little bit more than the Pro. You were right about that. My say is, who needs The Last of Us 2 when you rocking 52 CU? So that's their saving grace at this point. Mm-hmm. You know, is ray tracing and VRS and 52 CUs and 12 T-flops, because they got nothing else to talk about. And they know it. They know it. That's why Phil Spencer just came out and said, you haven't seen the true power of Series X yet. That's why he said, even though just a month ago he said the biggest change is the SSD and the CPU. So maybe he doesn't know the power of the X. I mean, I don't know. So, but I agree with you. Yeah, they can't win. Right. And they know it.
Shout out to everybody. Welcome to CC Frames No Lag. I know it's been a while. We got the boys back. You know what I'm saying? I'm really happy that I was able to get everybody together. Oscar Gonzalez, thank you for the shout out. He wasted no time dropping that 40 note in the super chat. I'm like, God damn, that was quick. We haven't even said anything yet. But I want to say, hey, shout out to everybody that's joining us. I truly appreciate.
Spanish people take care of each other, man.
Man, that's what I'm saying. You know, they're trying to build that wall. So, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got nobody else. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to lock us out and shit. But hey, I want to say thank you so much for joining. If you don't mind, please retweet and send this out, and we're gonna get the party going. Murillo,
P-Rod, yo, I see you got a nice little custom, dual sense 5 controller, man. That's special.
Oh, the background right there. Is that what you're looking at?
Yo, you need that, yo. Like when it officially comes out
right now, bro. He got that exclusive shit. You know?
Yeah, that background. Hey, shout out to Big Cloud Gaming. He's the one that created that background.
Yeah, he nice with that.
Yeah, he did it that day. The day the controller came out, he's like, "Yo, Porter, I got you something." I'm like, "What?" And he showed it to me. I'm like, "The controller came out 5 minutes ago." He's like, "I got you." I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Yo, shout out to Big Cloud." Yo, he was quick with that shit. My man Moreo, he says, "Hi Martin, don't know why you blocked me on Twitter, but hey, still like your work and ideas, dude. You think The Last of Us will be 90+ and 90+ on Metacritic?" All right, Morelli, I don't know.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. Hey, Morello, send me just send me your name in the chat.
P-Rock don't block people.
Yo, that's weird. I don't know, man. Maybe some weird shit. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Like, so on my Twitter, like, I'm not losing followers, but people I follow get unfollowed, and I'm like, why the fuck? Like, I know this will do, like, people I normally talk to a lot. It's like, I'm not following no more, and I'm like, what the fuck? So hey, just hit your name in the chat. Let me know. Rome Rush, Xbox knows his place. Oh shit! Everybody's going crazy with the super chat right now. Thank you for the super chat, Rome. Shout out for everybody. Thank you so much for joining. But anyway, we're gonna go down the panel real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes me happy hearing these guys' opinions and voices again. So we're gonna start out down the line. My man, All Day. You left California, man.
Word.
What's up, All Day? You there, All Day? Is he there? Oh, he stepped out. Okay, so we'll go on to the next one. The Messiah.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's the Messiah of Xbox back again with the crew. The boys are back in town. It is a pony stampede. I'm here holding it down for the community and the Xbox Nation who's over there. Shout out to YA2 who said they breathed it in a heavy bag right now after seeing that Last of Us trailer. But shout out to the chat and shout out to Porter Rock for getting this on. It's just the hand of God reached out and he got everybody to pop on, and that's just the way it is.
Hell yeah. And then we got Jay Breezy, Mr. That's $1,000, G. What's going on, brother?
Oh man, what's good, man? Your boy Jay Bar, you already know, the best lisp on YouTube. Go ahead and showing the PlayStation Nation some love, man. Listen, this is a reunion. Ponies is gathering up together. We just got some great gameplay. Yo, we are on an all-time high right now, man. It's been a great year. You know what I mean? Like, yo, Iron Man VR. Oh my God, beautiful. You got a VR, yo, play that demo. Trust, yo, it is good. It is good.
Yeah, man, I packed my VR and shit.
Oh, you got VR now?
I been had it. I had it last year.
Man.
Listen. P-Rod knew he was gonna get this VR, man. Listen, you gotta understand P-Rod.
Bro, it was like pulling teeth trying to get this.
Well, hold up, but y'all wanted me to get that shit when it was $500, G. And play some bullshit. I was like, man, I'm gonna play some bullshit for $500.
Hey, Dub. Hey, there's plenty of times we've been in a. Hey, P-Rock, you know it's on sale. I know.
But listen. You know what? What was the game? The game that got me to buy it was actually Blood and Truth. When I saw that, I was like, okay, I could fuck with that. That's when I'm like, I'm getting this motherfucker. But y'all wanted me to play some bullshit.
Yo, the best game on there is Far Point, yo.
Far Point?
That Far Point, that shit fire.
Astrobot
fire too.
I got that too. I got that. I ain't gonna lie. I know it's not a full game, but yo, I was in my zone when I played that Batman shit. Cause I'm a Batman fanboy. I was in my zone. I was in my fucking zone. I was like, yo, I'm Batman. I don't give a fuck.
And the story good too.
Yo,
the story.
I went on YouTube and I played the Hans Zimmerman themes and shit. I was fucking lit. I was playing the Dark Knight soundtrack when I was playing that shit.
Nice.
Who slept on that, yo? But it was good. That Batman Arkham VR good.
Hey, but the Iron Man?
Oh, I cannot wait.
The Iron Man Fuego, dog.
I cannot wait, man.
Oh,
fuck,
I can't believe it was that good. Like, the demo. The demo's big too. That's shit like 24 gigs, but it's really good, man. It's clean.
Nice.
It is.
Carlo Crespin, thank you for super chat. Welcome back to the Crumb Side. I never left. I was just, figuring things out.
He was sitting on the wall with his leg.
That's it, man.
Landing a cut. He landed a cut.
He was in a cut like Neil Sporn.
I had to fill out my immigration papers again because I was gonna get deported. Even though my family's Puerto Rican, for some reason it still don't matter. They're like, you speak Spanish? Yeah, I speak Spanish. You're an immigrant. Get the fuck out. I'm like, oh shit.
You back in the States now, then, right?
No, I'm still in Germany, man. I can't leave until July.
Shit. What time is it? What time is it in Germany?
Right now it's 11:20 p.m.
Speaks German.
Yeah,
I can speak German. There's a schnauzer and my wiener schnitzel.
Oh shit! This guy said wiener schnitzel. Oh shit!
I got a bad
You know what's crazy about the way they talk, man? They talking like a whole sentence is one word.
yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie. I love my time here in Europe. It's awesome, I wish I could spend another year out here. It's crazy nice, I enjoy my time.
You better go hit up Paris one more time, man.
Okay, like that. Not now. Shit. This shit. Hell nah.
You better put that VR on and get a YouTube virtual.
Right now, I have it packed. I have it packed right now. That shit. I have all my. In fact, all my stuff is waiting for me in California. All my furniture and everything. The only thing I got here is my car, which I ship mid-June. And then July, I'm out of here. Headed out to Pendleton.
You know what? That's the worst too. Packing up a PSVR, then have to unpack it.
Oh shit, man! Tell me about. I kept it in the original box, man. Yeah, they gotta make that shit easier to assemble. I'm like, God damn, it's like doing surgery.
Just give me one cord and I'm good.
Like,
hey, and what happens when you set it all up and it still don't cut on?
Oh,
you be like, fuck.
Yeah, you messed something up. It's like, damn, something plugged in wrong.
Yo, for real, man. Yeah, it's like a 10-step procedure. Like, I had it set up to where all I got to do is just unplug the HDMI cable and plug in the power cable. I'm not doing this shit over and over. Luckily, I have my man cave.
You know how PC gamers, when they build a PC, they think they're like the smartest people in the world. Oh, they for PlayStation people that have PlayStation VR, like we hooking up a VR.
Yeah. You feel accomplished and shit like that. Like you just did something. Like you're like, I now have my electrical engineering degree. You know what I'm saying?
Something else, man. They gotta tone that down.
When you set up your PSVR, bro, you gotta get a visor, a cigarette. You gotta go to work.
That's right, man.
Fucking mechanic, dog.
Oh,
bring that shit right down here, bar.
Oh shit.
Put the HDMI.
Oh shit, man. So damn. It goes all day, man. Let me get your intro, man. I know you.
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, chat? What's up, everybody, man? It's good to be back, man. How you guys doing, man?
Man, we missed you, brother, man. I'm glad you're here. All right, my man. Listen, right now, last but not least, this is the man who's been on the front line. The war's over, but that motherfucker's still on the front line, ready to kill. He ain't leaving. We're like, Rambo, come home. Like,
come home,
like
John,
you know, you did your 6-month tour. He's like, it ain't over. The war's never over. Like, Rambo, man, like come home. Like, we got to prepare for the next. Like, I'm always prepared. And it's my man J-Dub. He will not let his foot off their throat. He just won't. Yeah. He does. He gives. He's not. He's relentless.
It's like when Thanos hit Tony Stark on Titan.
This dude's a Terminator. Like, you know, freaking Cyberdyne is dead, and the Terminators don't know it. Like, nah, we still gotta go back to the past and kill this dude. Like, what? It's like, it's over. Like, the future's changed. Like, nah, it ain't over. Oh, so what's up, J-Dub? How's everything doing?
What's good, everybody? Man, it feels so good to be back on the 60 Frames No Lag podcast with my bros again. It's been a minute, but you know, we've been holding it down for you, P-Rock. We know you've been out, and like you said, man, hey, you can't let up off these bots' neck. The first Battletoads game they get, they start bragging. So I gotta keep them honest. I gotta keep them honest, brother.
Okay, man. Hey,
you got people out here. You got people out here chanting Battletoads.
Yo, this
still ain't coming. It still ain't coming. What do you think?
Hey, I think they count to that game. But I think I made many gifs and memes of that thing. Okay, I think Phil just probably said, "Man, fuck it, we can cancel this shit." How you gonna follow Ghost of Tsushima and Final Fantasy VII and all these great games with shit like that? You can't do that, man. Like, people can't get jiggy to that.
I almost feel like they're disrespecting the gamers at this point.
Yeah, really.
I mean, I feel like they don't. It's like, fuck y'all, man. You get what you get, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's it.
Hey man, you gotta respect the gamers, yo. It don't matter what Microsoft do. They got all the good stuff. They got the services that's good. The console is cheap. You know what I mean? They got a refund program.
All you can eat gaming.
Oh, everything. But people was like, nah, we don't want that.
Yeah.
Watch when Xenoblade drop. Nintendo Switch about to go up. That's what people want. You got to give them incentives, man. Games are trash. It's hot garbage.
Yep.
All right. So let's kick off some of the topics, right? We're gonna start off with. Did y'all guys get a chance to see the state of play with The Last of Us 2?
Yes, sir.
Let's bring it. Bring it all day. Give it to me.
I saw about 10 minutes of it. I'm gonna watch it in 4K again here.
It's up in 4K right now.
I've seen that the first 10 minutes is enough for me to say that it's gonna probably be the highest Metacritic game this generation, and I think this is gonna sell plenty of PS5s. Yeah, this just basically put PS5 ahead instantly.
Yeah.
Yo. So all day. We'll start with you. What do you think about it? What was your opinion on what you saw?
The first thing I thought, the first maybe 2-3 minutes, I was like, yeah, I'm about to order me a sledgehammer. My girl was like, for what? It's time to go break some Xboxes at Walmart. It was great, bro. It was the fucking animations, the realism, the new clickers, like all that shit in the one video combined. Like, this is why we game. This is what we want. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. This is why we buy consoles. This is why we game. For shit like this. Not for fucking running around in a fucking empty beer can. I'm grounded. Like, come on, man. Like, you know what I mean? It was great. I fucking loved every second of it. It was exhilarating. It looked...
Okay. Wow.
We lost him.
Hey.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
No, I'm done. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Wait,
damn, hey, don't ever do that shit again. I thought my computer was broke. Breathe, nigga, breathe.
Yo, shout out to David. Thanks for the super chat. He said, did y'all see that girl who got her throat stabbed was playing on the PS Vita?
Oh.
Nah, I didn't realize.
Yeah, it was a PS Vita.
The Vita model looked great too in there too, man. Like that's what. As far as the gameplay,
that's that attention to detail that we was talking about.
That shit was crazy. Man.
Yo, that.
Hey, y'all seen what I posted? Hey, when that dude got shot in the fucking ankle, and she's gutted him. Oh man, it was.
That remind me of, like, you remember on PS1, like Medal of Honor, when you can shoot their limbs and they start.
Oh yeah, no, that was.
Hey, hold up. Hey, hold up. Something wrong with the audio.
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
hey,
they say no audio.
Hey, can everybody jump out and just jump out and jump back in to the Discord?
Right.
Yeah, just jump just jump out and jump back in. Something Discord is acting weird.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's everything going?
I can hear you now. Yep.
I can hear you guys now.
I can hear you. I heard J-Dub, but he came back in.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm back.
I hear him. I heard him. Yep.
I'm here. I'm here.
All right.
I can hear Craig. Yeah.
Let me do
Are
something.
they not?
Discord messing up.
It could be. Oh, they're saying it's good now. Chrono Garcia said good now.
Let's see.
Okay. It's back.
I'm gonna lower the bit rate a little bit for the voice channel.
Uh-oh. I don't know what that means, but sound bad.
No.
This is the quality.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you really don't need a lot of high bit rate for voice.
Mm. So you need
what I was saying is that the animations. I'm loving the animations from the gameplay that we saw. The fact that she's swimming, she's using something that she was afraid of. Now she's using that as part of her arsenal, like stealth kills and all that stuff, or getting into infiltrating enemy camps and all that stuff. Really, really dope stuff, man. And the gun mechanics that I'm seeing, the sound, the hot dog when she burnt the dog. Oh my god, yo! Yeah. I know the people's coming for that. I know they're coming for Naughty Dog with that, but yo, that was really good, man. That's the sound and how everything, that's melted in one. No pun intended. It was really good to see that stuff with the gameplay, man.
I mean,
my hype has went up really, really up this game for real.
Yes, man. Yeah, I mean, you saw a lot of attention to detail to the game. I mean, they took The Last of Us and took it to the next level. They added, basic mechanics, but it just enhanced the overall game. The jumping, the aerial mechanics, rope climbing, swimming.
Rope climbing is fracks, yeah.
And while those things are simple and it's not like it's new and innovative and brand new mechanics, right? But specifically to The Last of Us, what that is going to do is it's going to open up the world itself, and it's going to make the world more livelier and more accessible and just more bigger. You understand what I'm saying? More and opportunities
give you more ways to escape and stuff too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's just going to open up the realism and what you can do in the game, and they just putting so much attention to detail. The fighting mechanics, it looks like CGI cutscenes, man. They're so fluid. A lot of people, when they first showed that, like 2 years ago, people thought, oh, that's not real gameplay. And now we saw it live. They took animation and gameplay to a whole new level. Like, I guarantee the games that are going to come out after The Last of Us, it's going to be a hard sell. Because we're going to look at it like, man, this shit looks robotic.
I really think that the one and done narrative will be gone with this one. This game seemed like you can put a lot of time into this motherfucker. So.
Oh man, especially on grounded.
We've seen games like God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man, and stuff like that. We've seen people sink hundreds of hours into real hundreds of hours. None of that fucking Crackdown hundreds of hours shit, but real, 2, 3, 4 playthroughs of that and enjoy it. So, but that shows the power of Sony Studios with the quality and the attention to detail that we're talking about here. Unfortunately, man, I think any game that come after that, any game that come after that's going to have a hard time. But one thing I like about Sony Studios is they like competing against each other. They like pushing the bar. And so, I mean, when you saw Cory Balrog was like, holy fuck, when he was playing the game, he was playing The Last of Us 2. That lets him know that when the God of War 2 come out, he's going to have to try to push it even further to take that crown back.
You know Cory Balrog, right? When he playing The Last of Us 2, he's like, hey, guys. Hey,
he's still an idea.
No, he's like, hey, the God of War 2 build we got for PS5? Yeah, boss, what's up? Scratch that shit. We starting over. Dump that shit. Dump it. Do over. We crunching, guys. We crunching. Like, we just started development. We crunching today. All right? Day one, we doing a crunch. All right?
Hey, for the rock, I guarantee you, God of War 2 gonna have a fucking jump button.
My man's like, the game's not even production, and Cory Balrog's like, hey guys, we gotta get ready for the crunch. And they be like, yeah, towards the end. Like, no. We crunching today. You ain't gonna see your families. You not seeing your wife for 4 years.
J-Dub, you right though, because look at the attention to detail to all of the games. Let's look at Ghost of Tsushima when we saw that. My man throwing off the blood off the katana and all that. Oh man, it's just gonna be amazing, man. You know, if you don't have a PlayStation, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you, yo. Real talk.
Hey, you see me on for that. I'm like, listen, it's 2020. If you a grown ass man and you call yourself gaming and you don't have a PlayStation, what are you doing? Like, I just don't get it, man. If you still defending Bleeding Edge in those games, talking about their fun, I don't get it. I don't get it. Even Phil Spencer goes out and he's like, damn, congrats Sony for this and that. Like, you have to applaud their effort and what they bring to gaming. And none of the services, none of the services and subscriptions bullshit, and none of that. I'm being pro-consumer fake stuff. I'm talking about just give you a good fucking game for $60 and no bells and whistles. Just give me a great fucking game. And I don't understand why a lot of people have a problem with that.
All right. So with we saw how amazing this game looks, right? The Last of Us 2, right? And it's on the PS4, right? So do you think, the Sony first party studios are looking at themselves like, what the fuck are we going to do on a PS5 when Naughty Dog's doing this shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, Naughty Dog is raising the bar hardcore, right? Exactly. Like that, what we saw is more impressive than the next-gen games we saw on the Xbox third-party showing. There's nothing in that show that looked as good as that. So now, from a Sony first-party perspective, Sucker Punch, I mean, they're getting on Ghost of Tsushima out, so we're going to see how they stepped up the game. But, but like everybody else, Santa Monica, they're going to have to step up. You know what I'm saying? The devs that did Days Gone, Bend Studios. I know they see this shit and they're like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are we going to do? Because they're going to be...
The bot's coming out, P-Rock. The bot's coming out. My man, Kid Smooth. I'm an Xbox guy, but the way Team Green closes out the gen is a bit pitiful.
What that? He did it on Twitter?
He put on Twitter, man.
Oh shit!
He's speaking from the heart now, man.
I mean, when look at this game, like, and you know what's funny? The Last of Us looks absolutely amazing, but it's still not over because you still got the Ghost of Tsushima. So who knows what that's gonna do for open world, right?
Right after the last.
It's right. It's like a month after. This is. So this is why I'm not, I wasn't all crazy about the spec talk for PlayStation 5 because I'm like, PlayStation 4 is not over. And I'm going to be honest, you're probably not going to see, a lot of games that's going to outclass The Last of Us from next gen in the beginning.
And that's one hell of a last impression, bro.
Just from that little snippet of gameplay, no. I agree 100%.
It's fucking insane. Like if you get a casual gamer that don't know better, You could trick them into thinking that's a PS5 game, and they'll believe it. And they'll believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Put a rock. We're at that level now. Well, I'm almost willing to put money on it. I'm almost that confident that Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us, in these last generation games like Final Fantasy VII are literally going to look better than the competition's next generation showing from what we've seen so far.
You know, potentially, yeah. Like right now, I would like to see how Infinite stacks to The Last of Us. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about it, Puerto Rock, is this stuff is being shown on the 4.2 T-flop system on the weaker console. It didn't even take the world's most powerful console to give you that.
No, it's just
so Sony is showing you we don't need all of those T-flops to compete and to dominate. So I think that's why they probably ended up spending the money where it needed to go most.
And we're gonna touch on that because I want to talk about the bullshit that's been going on the last couple of weeks, right? So we definitely need to touch on
ray
that.
tracing. I was talking about the ray tracing. It was in that Last of Us Part 2 trailer. When you see
Lord.
it, it's like, I'm just saying, when you all see it in 4K, I just watched that trailer in 4K. It's phenomenal. That ray tracing was good.
And we ain't tracing.
Yeah, I mean, dude, wait till when she kills that one girl with the knife. You all talking about the animation? When he kills the girl with the knife, look at when that girl hits the ground when she's dying. She actually grabs her neck and literally starts to writhe in pain, like she's trying to stop the bleeding. So yeah, they paid attention to that. But as Ellie goes to the right, there's a lamp there, like a lantern, and that's full ray tracing right there. You will see it. You will see the full ray tracing right there on 18 CU.
And that's why we call you Craig the tech guy. You are the tech guy.
That's why I'm here looking at that stuff. You know, exactly
you know what? When Ellie, in part of that trailer, when Ellie sliced that girl's throat when she was moving through that room, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but from what I saw is when she sliced her throat, it looked like it didn't really like slice it completely open. It was like a delayed slice, kind of like a dull knife type of cut.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all seen that. Like it was like it pulled her skin with the knife. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it looks super realistic.
Yeah.
And that was in motion. That was in game. That wasn't a cutscene. That wasn't one of them. Like on Deus Ex when you assassinate somebody, those canned animations.
Yeah, I know exactly. Because I like Deus Ex, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Like it's just like you sneak up on the guy on the left side, but you still stab him on the right, no matter where. You're like, you're calling on the floor and you attack his ankles. That can animation still at the throat, and you're like, what the fuck?
I still think they do have some can animations in this game, though, for sure.
I just think they hide it better. I think they found a way to blend it better.
Make it seamless.
Make it seamless. Yeah. They found a way to put it together, which is really, and that's why overall, that's what makes the game look great.
When you slice somebody's neck or snap their neck, it goes. No matter if it's daytime, it turns into night.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that one is always dark. I'm like, man, this is funny. But I love the game though. I still like it. But there's a lot of funny shit in that game.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, but if you look at it, right, Naughty Dog. They took their animations to the next level, and it's crazy how animation makes a game look better, right? Yeah. It just makes the game look so much better. It really takes all these things we talk about, textures and lighting and stuff like that, but with animation, it puts it all together and makes the world seamless, Because I guarantee if the game didn't animate the way it is, it wouldn't give that overall appearance of, wow, this game looks amazing. You understand what I'm saying? The realism, the way Ellie moves, the way she gets hurt, the way she gets shots, the flinching, the reactions, the way she runs, fighting, the dodging, it's just everything, the way the enemies, the characters get injured and how they react to their own pain. That whole presentation is probably the best way I can explain it. Is just phenomenal. That's literally like I never seen anything like that. This whole entire gen, it's crazy.
Well, we haven't seen all of Ghost of Tsushima yet.
Okay, so that's the next one. Yeah, that's the next one. But I'm saying at this point, I haven't seen any game like that. Up to this point, that what we've seen with the animation and how just everything is so vivid and live. In The Last of Us 2, it's absolutely insane that this game is going to be played on the base PS4. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Well, I'm pretty sure the man from Canada said this was on the PS5.
Oh,
So
it got downgraded.
Dev
Said
kit.
that yet?
It was PS.
No, the downgrade hasn't come out yet.
It was
Yeah.
PS5.
The downgrade narrative ain't come out yet. I got you. Okay.
Kofi hasn't spoken. Like I said, that's going to be on Kofi's epitaph. That's going to be on his gravestone.
No, he's not.
You know, avid YouTuber, great guy, and then bottom there's going to said Spider-Man was downgraded. That will be there. So, you know, that's going to be on his tombstone.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you know, everybody that's putting their input that every PlayStation first party game is downgraded. They're like batting 0-4. So I'm like, at a certain point, like you just gotta be like, you know what? I'm not gonna go there anymore. You know, like how many more times? How many more times can you go there and look stupid?
Yeah.
And you think like, okay, let me cut it out. Let me stop.
Like after a while, you gotta think of self-preservation. You gotta be like, you know what? I gotta stop making myself look stupid to the world. At a certain point, you know, you gotta stop looking like a dumbass to everybody. You know, and they just keep doing it though, and I'm like, oh man, here we go with this downgrade stuff. All right.
The thing is, like, they talk downgrade, but they prefer Xbox. Yo, so what is it? What is your standards for Xbox game? Like, yo,
they talk downgrade,
I don't get it.
And protect and cap for grounded. Like, oh my god.
And cap for Crackdown. Was anybody talking about downgrade or Crackdown? One of the biggest downgrades this generation.
And none of them was able to see it. Nah,
Jay.
None of them
would not even download that.
They couldn't see the downgrade.
I ain't downloading that. So.
They couldn't see the downgrade of Crackdown 3. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, that whole game got downgraded so badly for first couple of times we seen it. And when that game came out, everybody was like, yo, it was on Game Pass.
That's the same grade. All right, so let's talk about the next topic. Potential June reveal for the PlayStation 5, June 3rd, right? And 38 games. 38 games. Maybe. This is all maybe, right? This is at this point is just a rumor. But some people, you know, like Jason Schreier and other people,
it might be a strong maybe.
It's a strong maybe, right? So what do you guys think? What would you like Sony? How would you like Sony to conduct themselves with this June 3 reveal if it does happen?
I'm going to tell you now. One thing I do want them to show, and they even put a tweet out or article out saying that it's going to be actual gameplay. They've learned their lesson with some of these events, and gamers want to see gameplay. Not none of that fake cinema stuff. You know, but they want to see the real McCoy. They want to see how it's going to look running on. It's your job right now to sell us on the PS5, and you can't sell us on the PS5 if you know if all your games is you know freaking that CGI / things that don't, you know. I think gamers in general have been disappointed in the past for so long. Look at the Watch Dogs and all this stuff. I think, and your Anthem, I think we finally, like, just look, man, just show me the game, how I'm going to be playing. I want to see buttons. I want to see all the kind of stuff like that. And so I think Sony's learned that. And so I think that's what we're going to see.
Okay. All right. Barry, how about you, man?
I agree. I think we're gonna see some stuff being shown off on the PlayStation because, like I said, like PlayStation have a good track record when they're times when they're revealing games or when they actually showing off games. They're showing gameplay. You know what I mean? Even if it's within the trailer, or they might have a little segment where like an 8-minute cut, like how The Last of Us Part 2 they did today. So they're going to be doing that with PS5 games. I feel like they're going to be with the PS5 games, but I also feel like it is a very key point for them to show how the backwards compatibility stuff is going to work on PS5. If that's what this if this PS5 event is like a reveal for PS5 and the games, I feel like they got to show off some PS4 games and some of it enhanced as well, just to give people like, okay, it's here's backwards compatibility, here how it's working, here how it's improved the PS4 titles that you already been playing this year or before or whatever like that. And I'll be satisfied with that, man. Show me the console, not those them ugly ass mock-ups that people been posting on Twitter. Every single mock-up I don't like. I'm in I'm in a small minority with the dev kit. If the if the PS5 can look something like the dev kit, like a smaller version of the dev kit, I'll be happy with that.
I don't like the dev kit.
Bro, I think it looks unique. It stands out.
It looks
you know
like
what I mean?
it looks like it just looks like a hospital piss pan. Oh my god, I can't get it out of my head, man. Yo, once somebody said that shit, I cannot unsee that hospital piss pan. I can't unsee it.
You saying
the vacuum head got me? The vacuum head got me.
Yo, that was a good one too. But the piss pan was what ingrained in my brain. When somebody showed that, I was like, "Oh shit!" And now that's all I see when I see that design. What happened?
PS5 look like a bidet? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
The thing is, I see a lot of people saying it's not a PS5 reveal. When the hell are you going to reveal the console?
Yeah, exactly.
They wait for the last minute.
This is one thing.
You're not going to reveal it in June. When are you going to reveal it?
You're going to see it the day you buy it. It's not even going to be on the box. The box is going to be just solid blue, and it's going to say PS5. You'll look at it when you open it.
A surprise. Yeah,
right?
Surprise, my boy.
All right.
Hey man, like real shit though.
Yo,
like,
all day. How about you, man?
Yeah, bro. Like, what was the question about the show? What do I expect to see?
Yeah. If it does happen, what's your expectation? Like, how you want them to work it?
Basically, I'm echoing everything everybody else already stated, but like what Barry and J-Dub said. Did Craig go already? Not yet.
No, we'll get him because once we give it to Craig, it's gonna.
What I want to say is
it's gonna be an out of space.
Fuck all the dumb shit. Fuck the console. Fuck everything. As long as they don't come out with no instruments, as long as they don't got no couches, as long as they ain't got no gifts behind people talking behind a podium, we good. It's gonna be a good show. But I really think they should show. I mean, pricing got to be there. Things have to be clear.
Yo, that PS5 better have more than 2 USB ports too.
Yes.
PlayStation. I'm looking. Don't pull that Microsoft.
I know what you mean.
4 minimum.
I know what you mean, man.
Microsoft bullshit, yo. I'm not playing with y'all.
That two USB port, and only one of them was 3.0. I'm like, oh my god.
I'm not expecting nothing crazy to show at launch. I'm expecting the lowest. I'm pessimistic as fuck. So I hope for the best, but I expect the worst. I just want to see some new games, man. Honestly.
Okay.
That's me.
All right. And now get ready for the fun. Yo, Craig.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Oh man, get ready. Yo, Craig.
Yeah.
All right, what do you expect? If this show was to happen.
I mean, what am I expecting? I'm expecting Sony to come out to make some type of official announcement. I've not seen any type of press release. I've seen some raggedy ass magazine from PlayStation UK. And why is Assassin's Creed Valhalla on that magazine? Xbox has marketing, doesn't it? Oh, they have marketing rights to that.
Yeah, but I don't think that prevents publication and stuff like that.
Oh, well, then they're in trouble then, because like I said, if they show, but I expect to see maybe 3 new games. Hopefully, we see a form factor, and that's about it. I'm more ready to play The Last of Us, and right now I don't care about the PS5. I want to play The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima. So,
Craig's like, I'm still playing Mass Effect Andromeda, so I really don't care.
I'm playing my games right now, so I can't go to the store and buy a PS5. But it would be nice to see. Are they supposed to do a deep dive or a tech dive? Something like that. So maybe show something like that. Oh, they're not? Okay. Well, fair enough. Whatever they show is going to be enough. Yeah, it'll be enough.
I'm on that Kentucky bourbon right now.
Whatever they want to show is fine, because no matter what they show, it's going to go viral. They showed the gamepad, and people were talking about it for 3 hours.
Greg,
it's a damn gamepad.
We just wanted to know what you like. That's what we wanted to know. What would you like?
Well, I like just to see some more gameplay, like we saw today. That's it.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna have about you guys. Great point. I really like Jay Barry's point with the backwards compatibility. Believe it or not, whether we have opinions on what's the reason to buy games. Because of the digital age, everything's like an iPhone, Android, or Samsung, right? Everybody moves over to the same ecosystem because they already invested in the products that they own on the previous device, right? So there's a lot of PlayStation gamers that want to know, will their games look better on the PS5, because they're still playing them, They still like to play The Last of Us. They still like to play Horizon Zero Dawn. I guarantee, Horizon Zero Dawn, they have a PS5 enhancement. A lot of PlayStation games are going to play that game again. So Jay Barry came up with it, and I didn't even think about that. You know, I was like, oh shit.
They got to show it.
They have to show it.
I mean,
you know, if there is,
I'm not like a huge backwards compatibility like dude like that, but it's a huge sell for your new platform, for your new console.
And they don't have to go like 30 minutes. They just need to show maybe two games, quickly explain how it works, and then compare. And what would be cool if they actually do a comparison? They'd be like, hey, this is Horizon Zero Dawn on the PS4 Pro. Hey, this is Horizon Zero Dawn Enhanced on the PS4 on the PS5, and people would be like, oh shit!
How about this? I one up you. How about they have examples of backwards compatibility, and then mid sentence they bring up Blue Point. They come out and they show the old version for what they're working on with the new one.
You know, shit like that. I mean?
Shit like that. Like Blue Point haven't told us what they're working on. So
or maybe they announced that they finally bought that studio. I've been told that they bought.
Oh man! So, all right, what rumor?
Oh, no, I don't do rumors. I'm just waiting for one more person to verify.
Okay, so just give us a hint. Give us a hint. Give us a taste.
Well,
I mean, when was the last time? Think of it as a gift for all of us for getting back together.
Well,
Craig getting his Foxy News UK on.
No, well, let's just say Fox is a good guy. Let's just say
I love Foxy. That's my brother.
Yeah, that's my brother from another mother. Let's just say hopefully on the third, Sony remedies the situation.
Oh, Remedy?
I didn't say that.
I'll be like, I'm not impressed with Remedy. It's all right. If it happens, I'll be honest. Come on, man. Then why would you use the word Remedy?
I did not say the word.
But you did not say it's Remedy.
What is this?
You did not confirm, but you did not deny either.
It was like a UFO. I can't confirm or deny what it was.
Right. But I think all right. So the final part, you know what I'm saying, before we close the show. All right. So let me set the stage. Right. Let me break out the whiteboard and set the stage. Right. So in the beginning, over a year ago, right, you had these Xbox fanboys hyping GitHub, 9.2 T-flop, eats monsters, yada yada yada. Right. Then the Game Awards show comes out. Microsoft unveils their console, makes little notes saying that it's twice the power of the Xbox One X, and then that fueled the narrative of 12 T-flops. Once again 9.2 T-flops, and then as information developed month after month, you know, VRS and yada yada yada, ray tracing, all this stuff, right? And the whole point of the thousands of hours of podcasts, Twitter, you know, capping for Microsoft was because with more power, you'll get to play the best versions, or at least if you're a console-only gamer, because that's the stipulation. You know, you have to pretend PC don't exist. You know, you'll play the best version of third-party games, and that's the games majority of people buy because of sales, right? Even though they don't like sales, they use that for sales, right? That's when they like sales, when it's for their advantage, right? So that's the whole shtick. Best version, most powerful components, powerful GPU, the most powerful CPU. PS is all about the third party and the best looking games, you know. And since people mostly play third party, according to them, like nobody plays exclusives. Nobody likes exclusives, apparently. It's nothing but third party.
What is that?
Yeah, what is exclusive, right? You know, right? That's the whole point. And that's the narrative they went with. Week after week, month after month. But then something happened. Microsoft said, hey, we're going to show a gameplay review in its primary third-party multiplats. Everybody's excited. Everybody's looking for 12 T-flops. They're going to put this VRS and Velociraptor or Velocity, whatever the shit they got. Velociraptor, architecture, vagina, you know, vagina, well, whatever, right? All this shit that they really don't know what the fuck it really does. You know, fucking, you know, ambient occlusion and, you know, all this shit, right? You know, all these technologies, right? And it's for third party, right? Even though during this whole time we've been saying that first party is what brings out the best, because third party don't really have an incentive or invested interest into saying one box is better than the other, right? It's always, it's always a first party. It's always that. They're like, nah, that's just fanboy, da-da-da. Third parties are great. Everybody plays third party. That's what's important. Fine. The event happened. We see the third party games. And the majority, everybody's went from 12 teeth, flops, and eats monsters to now like, why the fuck should I even buy a next-gen console? Like, it wasn't even, I'm buying a PS5. The shit was so bad that it even made PS5 look bad. Where now they're like, why even jump onto next gen if it doesn't even look that much better than what I got now? So even like the show was that bad that it made next gen gaming look bad, period. Right?
Really?
Now it's, oh no, you gotta wait till the July first party showcasing. And I'm like, wait a fucking minute. Now you're telling me that Xbox X, Series X, is relying on the weakest segment of Xbox gaming, which is the first party? Now you guys are relying on first party, which arguably is the worst point of Xbox. That's really what we've been saying the whole time. Their first party's trash. And now you want to co-sign? And then, shortly after, out of the blue, Epic unveils their UI5 engine on PlayStation 5, right? And what's the dude's name? Mark, what's his name?
From Tim Sweeney?
From Epic.
Sweeney?
Oh, Tim Sweeney. Yeah, Sweeney, right? Right? He's specifically saying what the engine does specifically with PS5 based on the architecture. And he hypes the SSD I/O architecture. He's actually an advocate. He's like, man, this is great. This is what it's doing. Right? And now all of a sudden, the Xbox community is talking about SSD. What guys, tell me this is the reason why I had to do a podcast. Someone explain to me what the fuck happened. Because even Microsoft themselves don't hype the SSD. They don't.
I can answer that. Yeah, I can answer that one word: developer. See, all these developers have come out from Remedy to EA to Ubi to IO, and Epic, you just mentioned Tim Sweeney, and they have literally said that the SSD and the follow through, the IO, whatever this shit is called, that's the game-changing tech this generation. To the point where the whole thing with Tim Sweeney was there were people in the PC community, they got mad. I mean, these guys were mad. They're still mad. So it's just that's what happened. Is that the way the data is going to be streamed in is going to be Sony's going to do it much faster than anybody else. Right now, that could change, but these developers, so what happened where the fanboys started arguing with developers and it made them look stupid. It literally made them look stupid. So I'm just like, look, if you all want to argue with developers, fine, but I'm not going to argue with the developer. So, and a lot of them have started to shut up and just have accepted. They put their heads down and they say, yeah. So
now it's one thing to raise the white flag, It's one thing to finally admit, be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe the ponies do have something. Maybe this SSD is not just talk, because
we've been right about gaming this whole generation. Everything that these guys don't care about and they claim they don't care about, now all of a sudden they're talking about, man. You know what I mean? They didn't care about power when the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox is out. What about resolution? Who cares about resolution? Now what they talking about? Oh, it's resolution about. They didn't care about exclusives. Now what they want to. Now what they're looking forward to? PlayStation 4 exclusives is out.
But that they don't have because they're going to be on PC.
Now what they talking about?
First day and day. What broke them in half, Porter Rock, was the Xbox thing with them running around, running their mouths, talking about everything was going to be 60 frames a second. Then Assassin's Creed Valhalla is 30 frames a second. That's when things started to really go left. That's when a lot of them disappeared. And because I get it, the games are still going to be 30. These are consoles. They're not as powerful as something called a 2080 Ti. These things are like 2060s with a little bit of sugar and spice on. So yes, they will do limited ray tracing. Yes, they will do the limited variable rate shading. We saw it. We saw it. The global illumination on the Epic demo was phenomenal. It was nothing short, but they said that. Ubisoft said we're going to have Hollywood cinematic effects on the PS5. That's what you saw with the Epic demo. Because you can go look at global illumination. If you watch the Avengers movies, you'll see Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet with when those stones light up, that is global illumination. And it's just like they don't believe the developers. That's part of the problem. They believe these idiot fanboys. And then you have Lisa Sue, who's all of 5'2", put a strap on and bend everybody over the couch talking about RDNA 1 and 1.5 and RDNA Lite. And she bent them over the couch and rammed her rod right up their ass talking about, RDNA 2.
Shit, this motherfucker. Like,
that's the hardcore shit.
This guy brought out Pornhub on this shit. Like,
so here's
like that shit. That image is in my head now. Like fuck, right?
That's what
that rod up their ass.
Oh my god!
You sound like you was cutting a promo for WWE.
Like what?
Okay.
Fuck. Tell us how you really feel, Craig.
Well, no, tell the truth, gentlemen. Tell the truth. Ever since she said that, how many of them have come out and said RDNA 1?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, boy. Yo, I screenshotted that and I sent that shit to Post Up. Shout out to Post Up. Broadband bullies. Next Gen and them. But yo, when Lisa Sue, right? That's her name. Yeah. She tweeted out, check out RDNA 2 technology on the PlayStation 5. I'm like, Post Up. I thought it was 1.5 though. Yep. Like you might want to tell the CEO of AMD that you don't know what she's talking about.
Post up still believing that 1.5 junk. I seen the other day he was like, he put his little eyes on the tweet and he was like, see, we'll wait, we'll see, or something like that. He said, I saw it.
Yo, my bad. Yo, shout out to the broadband bullies.
The Post Up, man.
But here's my thing, right? Here's a question though. But it's one thing to come on and admit, okay, maybe the SSD, the IO architecture, because it's not just, PlayStation podcasts and PlayStation fans, right? The really, where the real information is coming out about, the SSD and the IO, architecture is from tech enthusiasts. If you look at a lot of the YouTube channels from tech enthusiasts, they're not gaming channels. They don't care about Xbox versus PlayStation. A lot of their content is outside of consoles. They talk about Tesla. They talk about integrated networks in cars and networks and Cisco routers. They talk about tech, right? Real techs, not from Canada, right? Or maybe a few of them, but real tech guys, like real tech guys that their channel that's all about. They talk about, TVs with flat screen, touch technology and security systems, all that stuff, like anything tech related. PS5 content is on their channel because specifically they are interested in this IO architecture that is not even available on PC yet. It will be on PC, obviously, and eventually PC is going to do it better because PC upgrades every single year. So clearly it's going to be better, right? But for now, the only place in gaming that has it will be the PS5, and it's going to be like that for a little bit, right? Until PC catches up and then eventually surpasses it. That piques the interest of the tech guys. They're like, they don't really care. A lot of them don't really care about the gaming platform as much, right? Most of them are PC gamers anyway, but they're really interested in what this console is doing with that architecture, because that architecture can go beyond just gaming, and be used in other applications. And that's where they're interested. That's why they're all talking about it, right? You would think that tech guys, even though their preferred platform is Xbox, right? But they're tech guys, they would look at it and be like, you know what? Yeah, my preferred platform is Xbox or PC, but this IO architecture is a game changer. Like, this shit's fucking incredible, right? This is not just a fanboy narrative, to damage control 9.2 T-flops or whatever. This is Sony's doing something different. Sony's trying to bring something different to next gen and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So with that, why can't they just simply say, you know what, we might be wrong about this, but instead they chose to now hype Xbox, SSD, and some of them are saying it's even better. And I'm like, yo,
velocity engine and makes it better, and it's oh my god.
Yo,
Dudes are saying that the PlayStation got a slight little edge now because of the velocity engine.
How do you get 2.4 gigabits per second versus 5.5 just raw? Not compressed, but just raw. And the thing about it is the PS5 has a PCIe 4.0, and the Xbox don't. It's the 3.0. So it just by all theory, it can't be faster. That's just there's no way. No.
Yeah.
Is that epic demo? Remember, there have been podcasts for 6 months that have said only Xbox is going to be able to do A, B, C, and D. Sony's PlayStation won't be able to do it. Ever since they came out with those specs in, was it February or March when they showed 12 T-flops, and they were wrong. But let me say, Porter Rock, you put out a video, it's been a while, and you referenced Cortex, the gentleman that
he's one of them. He's one of them, yeah.
Yeah, okay. What everybody is going to find out, I mean, everybody's just talking right now, but what you're going to come to understand, and I'll talk about everybody here and in the chat and later, is that the PS5 is Lisa Su and Mark Cerny's revenge console against what happened to them with that cell architect. You know, see, Cortex, when he broke that down, how much Lisa Su and Mark Cerny were involved with that cell architecture, and it did not do what they thought. I'm not here to say it didn't work. It didn't do the number they thought. They were going to take on, they were trying to take on, I think, Intel, with that architect, and it didn't work. Intel shut them down. This is their revenge. That the SSD is faster than any PC SSD. The fastest unit to go get that information is on her platform that she helped design. So she's now going to go out there and get vengeance against the PC community. That's why the PC guys followed Tim Sweeney to that Chinese podcast, and we're like, well, he said this and he said that. No,
that shit is funny. They're translating Chinese.
Yeah, they were
like, man.
That's why they're doing it. And
that shit was wild.
And it's louder than a bomb. But at the end of the day, J-Dub's right. That epic demo that we saw, that we saw it, we're like, oh, it looks great. And then we moved on because the very next day they were showing Ghost of Tsushima gameplay. They have been screaming ever since that demo because they did podcasts saying, oh, we're going to have VRS and the PlayStation can't do it. We got 12 T-flop. Everything they said in that, 6.5 minute demo, they all got their cheeks busted in 6 minutes. So now they've been talking about the SSD because it's like, well, we have an SSD and it can run that demo, and it's just that's all that's happened. So that's what you've seen change all of a sudden. It was that demo, the physical gameplay, not CGI gameplay.
Well, let me explain to you exactly what happened, right?
Yeah.
The Xbox guys and Microsoft has been fighting a 2013 battle. They never moved on with the generation. Sony already, after they had the power crown for the first few years, when power really matters, and those like. They even said it themselves. Some of their developers even said power only matters in the beginning. After that, it's all about your games.
That was a creative.
You can only sell that. Yeah, you can only sell that console one time. Yeah, Seamus Blackley. So they're still trying to fight. Okay, well, we didn't have the power in the beginning of this generation, so they're still like harping on that power, right? And they never caught up on the game side. And this is why you have a PS4 Pro that obviously is 2 T-flops less than the world's most powerful console, the Xbox, Xbox One X. And it really didn't make a bit of a difference because the install base is on the PlayStation side. People are already familiar with the architecture. They're just moving forward. The developers are didn't go and do anything up and be for the Xbox One X and what they're going to do on another one. It's just we try to tell them that this generation coming up, they still got a 2 T-flop or what, even less lead. They got a 1.7 T-flop lead, and they still think that that's going to make people drop all their exclusives, drop all these Game of the Year winners that we've been having every single year this generation. Drop all you Spider-Man, God of War. You're gonna drop go over somewhere for an extra 1.7 T-flops. That's the problem. And this year was the most crucial. Microsoft should have went out on a high note, and they didn't. I mean, I can't. Sony saved their biggest games for last. That means they're going out with a bang, and that's going to push over into the beginning of the next generation and force people to get a PS5 because they want a continuation of that. Microsoft just hadn't caught on to that. And so right now the narrative has changed because the developers and Mark Cerny, these guys have moved on, right? The T-flops was last gen. That was last gen talk. We moved on to bigger and better things. We're gonna, we're talking about SSDs. We're talking about custom I/O chips. We're talking about all kind of shit that the developers can tangibly use, not theoretical, but can tangibly use. This is why people like Tim Sweeney and Epic Games. This is why people like what's the other guy? The other big name was backing up Tim Sweeney. And everybody's going
Carmack.
Yeah, John Carmack. This is why these guys are. This is why they're. This is why they're going gaga because this is a whole new ball game for them, and it seems like Sony has Mark Cerny has crafted. They've kind of. I mean, they really put some thought on how this next generation is going to go forward. Where it seems like with Microsoft, they just want to go with raw performance, and raw performance didn't help them this generation when they had it. So next generation, it's going to start from scratch. No, it didn't. You've been having the world's most powerful console since 2017.
No,
it's 2020. So what that you haven't won an MPD yet. So you haven't won an MPD since like what 2015. And I'm sorry, but Game Pass is not going to help you. Xbox Live is not going to help you. None of those other things are going to help you. You can hand out all
Jesus
the Taco Bell, all the Taco Bell stuff. Listen, right now everybody's talking about an exclusive, multiple exclusive. They're talking about The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima. They're talking about Final Fantasy, stuff like that, stuff that's tangible. So when you walk in the store, come day one, this November or October, whenever they drop these systems, you got $500-600 in your pocket. You're gonna have to make that choice. Do I continue on with the people that have the games because I love the sequels, or do I move over to another platform that gives me some services, but they really don't have the games?
But if they got 52 T-flops.
Yeah, listen, I want to see you.
Damn, Craig.
Yeah, that's
Yo, Lionel B, shout out with the super chat. He says, "I'm glad the old gang is back. Let's get these W's." All right,
Facts.
Hell yeah. So let's get a couple of things. Because
Porter Rob, in 2001. Did that power and exclusive games help Xbox when it first came out?
Nothing, man. It helped, to get the name out there, right? But it didn't do anything for the PS3. I mean, to compete with the PS2. I mean, hell, I remember when Sony said, the console war is over, and it was only like a year later. Granted, PlayStation 2 at the time, like a year later, got Grand Theft Auto 3, Final Fantasy 10, Metal Gear Solid 2, Devil May Cry, Twisted Black, GT3. It was just an onslaught of like, yo, it's over.
It seems like the same shit is happening all over again.
You understand what I'm saying? Yo, it's crazy.
Except without the games.
Yeah,
Back then they tried.
Yeah. So because a lot of the narrative, because I will say this, in terms of podcasting, right? I think there are more Xbox podcasts that talk about tech and narratives as compared to PlayStation podcasts. Because I follow a lot of PlayStation podcasts, but rightfully so, they just stick to games. They don't get into crumb side. They don't care about this narrative talk. They avoid it, actually. They just stick with PlayStation games, PlayStation game news, and that's all they really do, right? They don't really talk about it. I think the closest one that might talk about information is that MBG guy, but I think originally he was an Xbox dude that crossed over, right? So he wasn't here from the beginning. Like, a lot of the context of crumb side or console war information, whatever you want to call it, he wasn't a part of because he was mostly on the Xbox side at that time. He didn't see it from a PlayStation perspective. So a couple of things. Let's address a couple of things. I'm glad you guys here so we can talk about it as PlayStation enthusiasts, right? So the SSD. A lot of people are thinking, why are PlayStation gamers hyping SSD? Why is anybody talking about this? Because it's something that we had on PC or it's been available on PC. It doesn't do much. It's just storage and you get load faster, right? It's all about the frame rates and the graphics and the resolution, stuff like that. So let's dial this back. Yes, the CPU and the GPU are the compute units, And they're the ones that's going to primarily horsepower, the frame rate, the resolution, the graphics, the textures. Those are the components that are doing that. I like what J-Dub said earlier. He says, and what he said earlier, you know, a couple of 20 minutes ago was, if you look at that Last of Us 2 and you see the 1.8 T-flop version of that and what they accomplished, then from their perspective, they don't need 15 T-flops, 12 T-flops, 13 T-flops to provide you with a great looking and amazing game, right? And I like that point because I'm pretty sure that's what the developers, because remember, the PlayStation 5 wasn't built in a vacuum away from the developers. They all had input. They all saw what was being put together. They all co-signed this console, right? So if you have Naughty Dog, Santa Monica, and big third party, because they were part of this process too. It wasn't a hidden secret, right? And they all co-signed this. Then this is the console that they are happy with and that they're going for, right? So as far as the GPU and the CPU, it's going to hit the metrics that, next generation is expected of next generation. And when you think about it, for next gen, you're not going to have 2013 all over again. You know, I like what Craig Harris said in one of the podcasts, 3, 4, whatever. He goes, 4K is 4K. You're not going to get better 4K in terms of power talk, right? Yeah. So you're not going to see next gen 1080p makes you a better gamer because the other console's only 900p. Both consoles are going to be native 4K consoles. So Microsoft is not going to be able to create a narrative of 4K makes you a better gamer because PlayStation 5 is going to be 4K too. And that's why I don't think people understand. It's not about what Xbox has over PlayStation. It's what PlayStation 5 can do in its own right. If PlayStation 5 hits the metrics, native 4K 60, then that's it. Sure, maybe the Xbox X version has a little bit better textures, better lighting, whatever. But in order to see that stuff, you're going to have to go to Digital Foundry and zoom in and let them tell you. But most people ain't going to care about that. As long as they go, hey, it's PlayStation 5 native 4K hitting 60, and the majority of games, they be like, yeah, it's hitting native 4K 60. That's it. Conversation's over. Because like Craig Harris said, you're not, unless Microsoft starts pushing 8K, that's about the only answer. Or if they push native 4K 120 frames. There's really nothing you can do if both platforms are native 4K 60. It's nothing more you can do, you know? With Xbox One and PS4, it's different. One was 1080p, the other one was 900p. But what really drove the point home was that 900p console was $500, while the PlayStation 4 was $400. That's what really got people pissed off. If the Xbox One X was $350, $300 from the jump, no one would really have an issue with 900p. It would be like, yeah, no shit, it's $100 cheaper than the PS4. That's why it's 900p. Like, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, like
but it was $100 more. And when people ask why, because you can Skype. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, no. Yeah, like so people thrashed Xbox with that 1080p, 900p. To show Microsoft that they fucked up, that they focused on the wrong shit. You know? That Kinect, cable vision bullshit was not what people wanted. You know?
TV.
Yeah, that's not going to happen with the PS5 and the Series X. Most likely both consoles are hitting, and Sony knows that. So Sony only went with what they know they could feel that they could get 4K 60 on most games, right? Because like you said, there's going to be some games that's not going to hit 60, like maybe Valhalla, that's going to be 30, whatever. But what they really wanted to push was this SSD. So now we're going to talk about the SSD, right? Because a lot of people, everybody's, keeps bringing up those words because it's easy, but in reality, it's the input-output architecture, right? The high bandwidth, very efficient, very little bottleneck architecture that they created, right? And that's what's going to enhance gaming. And that is what Sony's looking at, right? Now, if everybody's looking at my screen, on YouTube, you see I have the image of Jack 2 up. This was the image Mark Cerny showed on his deep dive, okay? This is the image. What you're seeing is the map layout of the game of Jack 2. This game was released in 2003. I think development production began in 2000. So you're looking at something that's 20 years old, right? The reason why he put this map, and people don't understand, maybe they overlooked it, whatever, the reason why he's showing you this, the reason why he's showing this, he is trying to tell everybody that the rules, the mechanics, the fundamental concept of how to design a game and its map has not changed since this game 20 years ago, right? The fundamental philosophy of how do we design a game due to the limitations of the I/O architecture and bandwidth and how we pull data from the hard drive or from the storage device has limited gaming all the way back since this map right here. That is why Mark Cerny is trying to tell everybody gaming design has not changed since Jack 2. Regardless of how more powerful CPUs you got, no matter how more powerful GPUs you got, no matter the increase in RAM, they have not fundamentally been able to escape the fundamental philosophy of how to design games since this game, which was started development in 2000 and released in 2003. So 20 years they've been stuck with the same philosophy, the same tricks and mechanics of how to make a game since Jack 2. And Sony's trying to change that. That is the whole point of the SSD and IO architecture. To get away from a philosophy that's 20 years archaic. That's it. That's the big deal. That's the big hoopla. It's not those SSDs going to catch up to 12 T-flops. That's not it. And I know some PlayStation fans have said that. And they're clueless. They should have never said that. But that is ultimately what Sony's trying to do. There has been a limitation in game design for 20 years. Developers want it to end. They want to move on from that. They don't want to develop games to where, all right, let's create this fabricated shit because the data's too slow, so we're just going to make up shit. We're going to make up these scenes, these gameplay mechanics, or we have to cut content because, you know, they can't get data fast enough and there's not enough room in RAM to do it. All these things that they just been limiting because, you know, when they design a game, they have lots of ideas. And then when it goes from concept to implementation, they have to cut a lot of ideas. Because again, limitations in architecture. They can only do what they can only do with the confines of the concept of how to develop a game. That is the big deal behind the SSD and the IO architecture PS5 has. You're only going to see it through the exclusives, right? Because if you make a multi-plat, you have to cater to the consoles that has the limitations imposed on them, right? So if a game is PS4, PS4 Pro, and PS5 cross-gen, you're not going to get the full benefit of the PS5 because you're stuck with the limitation of what the PS4 4 and Pro provides because you can't access data fast enough from the hard drive. Even if you slap that same SSD into PS4 and PS4 Pro, it doesn't matter. The architecture I/O to take advantage of it is not there, right? So with that with you guys, did I leave anything out? Is there any inputs you guys want to throw in?
All I want to say is when developers got excited for it, that's all that matters. Period.
Exactly.
Period.
When the guys,
Simple.
when the dudes are about to
When
make
the
these
guy-
games
Exactly.
are jerking off, you might want to be like, yo, these developers are really excited over this.
Sorry,
shit.
but
You know what I hate too? I hate the people that try to make fun of like PlayStation fans being hyped for this. It's not even just the fans, like you just said. The developers are getting excited, so that's getting us excited because now we can get creations of what they want to do. You know what I mean? Rather than be.
What happened?
No, you cut out.
No, that was Barry.
I think Aaron Greenberg took him out. He's on the chat and he's like, you know what? I'm sick of your shit. Yo, Barry, you done?
Nah, my bad. Like I said, I'm moving, so I don't want the background noise.
He's like, yo, watch that VR. He's like, I see that Xbox T-shirt under your coat.
I'm just saying that's like the developers are getting excited. That's getting like me excited because I'm listening to them, hearing what they're saying. Like, yo, we can create stuff now that we want to create. You know what I mean? Without any limitations.
That they probably have been wanting to create. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
Due to limitations.
You know what it is? You're telling these developers that Sony finally figured out a way to tackle a limitation you professionals, developer professionals have been dealing with for 20 years. They're going to be excited. They're going to be like, oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. It's on. Especially the ones who have no problem making a PlayStation 5 exclusive. they're gonna be like, oh hell yeah,
And then,
we're gonna do
saw
it.
the epic demo. We saw that little epic demo. That even like, you know what I mean, even heightened the excitement because I'm like, yo, now we're getting to see, you know, what this man was talking about for 40 minutes. Like we're seeing it now. Like, yo, that's a pretty impressive demo. So now imagine how the other games are gonna look, how the first party games are gonna look. You know what I mean? Like, yo,
it's gonna be crazy. Like you put this in the hands of Naughty Dog, Santa Monica. Oh man, yo, you just unlocked God tier level in these dudes. These dudes are going Super Saiyan on that ass.
Hold on, I want to ask you a question because you still play MLB The Show.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen? Because that's a Sony first party studio.
Yeah, but it's a multi-plat, so.
Yeah, it's a multi-plat. Do you think that they won't code to the PS5's strain?
I don't see. Here's the problem. I don't think they will. And they're gonna try to do the best they can because here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? So San Diego studio, right? Obviously, they make MLB The Show. It's one studio, and for a while, all they had to worry about was just one game on one platform, right? But that game had to come out every March. There's no excuses. You have to come out for the baseball season. So every March, like clockwork, MLB The Show comes out. That's a lot of work to do in order to go from one game to the next game in such a short amount of time and try to implement new gameplay mechanics, improve the animations, improve the AI every single year, and the game still has to come out in March, right? So now you go from a studio that's specifically just worried about one platform to now they're a studio that has to worry about PC. They have to worry about the Switch. They're still going to make a PS4 version, enhance a PS4 Pro, now a PS5, Xbox One S, Xbox One X, Xbox SX, potentially Lockhart. That's a lot of platforms with different variable architectures, but the game still has to come out every March. It's not like they're on a 2-year cycle because of this. It's not like now the show is going to go, all right, we're going to release the show in 2001, provide DLC and update rosters for 2002, and then release a brand new one in 2003. No, it's going to be a brand new game, once again, every single year. I'm going to tell you, as much as I hate to say it, the game is going to end up like Madden. It's going to get Maddenized. Because there's really, think about it. You got all these platforms, but you still have to come out in March. No excuses. It's Madden. That's the reason why Madden game sucks. Even 2K over time, decayed.
I feel
you have
no. Gonna drop.
It's gonna drop.
Innovation is gonna drop.
It's gonna become our version of Madden. It's just. I'm already accepting that. So if you haven't bought MLB The Show 2020, do so now, because it's probably gonna be the last quality MLB to the high standard the show has. Because after this, it's just gonna be Madden games every year, and people will still buy it. Hell, it'll probably even sell more now that it's on more platforms. But it's selling only because you don't have any other option. It's just like Madden. You want to play a sports game that is officially licensed, well, play Madden. You want to play an officially licensed MLB game, play the show. You want to officially license 2K game, play 2K. You have no other options, right? That's just how it is.
Last MLB I bought was 17 because it had the Griffey collector's edition, and I never played the game, but I still have that shit.
Yeah,
look, I've bought every. I mean, you guys know I've bought every single MLB game. 20 is the only one I didn't buy, and only because I'm holding off for the next generation version.
Which one?
I don't think too much changed from last year's to this year's to where.
Yeah, because the demo it felt super samey.
Yeah,
so I was like, well, it's kind of like 2K. I didn't, I'm just
it's really, I haven't bought the last 2 Maddens and stuff like that. I think 18 was the last one I bought. And it's
the
just
Madden that they showed that on inside Xbox or whatever it looks the same.
I can't. I looked at Madden. I'm like, I'm not playing this.
You got 12 T-flops, and this is all you can give us.
I'm not
shit that looks like it's running.
Hey, but you know what?
52 CUs too. Remember, remember that 52 CU.
For these sports games, I'm gonna wait till the developers go next gen only.
Yeah, and you know what?
I'm not fucking with this cross-gen shit.
It's been every other year. I buy every sports game every other year, but now it's becoming every 2 years.
Yeah, soon it's gonna be like once every gen to see a difference.
Right.
Like
so
I'm waiting for
y'all need a press conference to tell me how these physics can change, man.
These sports games, you need to show the last year version and put them side by side because I can't tell at this point.
Remember they used to do that.
Yes, back in the days, man. Now they ain't doing that no more because it's copy paste, man, with a little bit of changes. Yo, to be honest, a lot of this shit you can fucking really do DLC, template, man.
Yeah, look, do one template.
Just make the shit free to play at this point. Yeah. Just free to play this shit. And just update the shit like Fortnite.
The show?
Everything. Just update the sports games on free to play.
You know what? People say they want free to play, but when it actually becomes free to play, the interest is going to be lessened because now the microtransactions is going to come even more. And is there something
about doing it now?
Something about the word free to play that people just get turned off somehow.
But when you think about it, these games are slowly encroaching free to play bullshit.
They are.
Yeah, it's literally roster updates every year, and they already doing microtransactions. The Madden Ultimate Team, MLB does it with their shit.
Everybody's taking on the mobile platform, way of doing things. How a mobile game will come out a year, no real changes, but little two things. It's free to play. Who's complaining? Mobile game now. These AAA developers, they're implementing that mobile game strategy into their games.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That constant revenue.
It's a race to the bottom. If that's me.
It's just insane. Anyway, I think we did a good podcast. Any last thing you guys want to do? Let's do the outros.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh.
That's a gangster outro.
I hate color green. Nigga.
Funny when I remember when I first met All Day, he was Xbox dude, man. Like
Xbox. But he said, "Hey, what was it? You had a." I forgot what
screenshot.
Yeah, the screenshot.
No, before I came into Community Next Gen, was like, you a PlayStation dude, Xbox dude. I was like, if I had to depend on the games, I'd say PlayStation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So. I was just with them. I mean, you can infiltrate them niggas easy. So. They're always down to talk and play.
All you gotta do is put a poster of Phil Spencer in your room, and that's it. You're in.
There's some good dudes over there, man.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, there's some good dudes out there, man. I fucks with a lot of them. The broadband bullies. You know what I'm saying? Delusional as shit, but they're good peoples. They're good peoples, man. Messiah, Craig, voice of Xbox.
Thanks for having me. And remember, let's play the games, people, and enjoy what you got. And that Last of Us trailer looked great. And so hopefully we get more info in a week on the PlayStation, what they're going to do next generation. Is what I'm excited about. So thanks for having me in Porter. You got to do more of these, brother. It ain't been the same without you. I think you all call them the YouTube gaming streets. I don't know what that is, but it's been a bloodbath here for the last 4 weeks. Just a bunch of bruised cheeks and busted jaws. So
J-Dub out there, man. He's fucking massacring everybody.
I know. J-Dub, this troll D-batch.
Like we're telling them, man. Rambo.
You gotta tune into J-Dub tweet, man. Every morning tweets.
Man, like he always gets them. And he gets them riled up so good. It's fucking hilarious, man. Yo, all right. Oh, my man Jay Breezy. $1,000, G.
Yeah, man. It's definitely a pleasure, for the invite, man. Like I said, it's been a long time. 60 frames, no lag. It's always a pleasure coming on. My man Porter Rock hanging out with the best of the best. You see us out here, J-Dub, the Messiah, my man All Day. We out here, man. But yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. So you guys enjoy the rest of the night.
I gotta say one thing to you, though. One thing. Ready? You ready?
What's up?
Hey, I'm sorry, but Final Fantasy Remake has no chance at Game of the Year. That shit has no dog. That shit has no chance. That shit, delete. It's great. I love Final Fantasy 7. Oh my god, I love it. But Jay, after what we saw today, delete your tweets, dog, because they're gonna come after you. Yo, delete all them Final Fantasy Game of the Year tweets. Yo, that shit's a wrap.
It's more to a game. It's just a beautiful animation.
I don't like Cloud. Why Cloud's sword is bigger than him.
Oh
But,
my God,
besides
this
that, the
guy.
game is
Oh
fun.
man.
So, besides that, it's better than that other game, the one game of the year last year, Sekiro. That person tried to give me a sword and he had no shoes on. How you gonna tell me to go kill people who ain't got no shoes on? So where your shoes at, kid? You know?
Fucking Greg, man. I'm telling you, about Jay. I'm telling you, man. It's gonna be a bad. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Hey, Porter Rock.
What's
That's
up?
bad for PlayStation.
What?
Nigga, imagine what that means for Xbox.
Oh shit! Yeah, they got nothing. They got nothing. Like, don't even bring up Halo. Don't embarrass yourself and bring up a 343 game. Like, don't even bring
niggas
that
got
up.
some re-wrap batteries coming out.
Oh shit, man! They
got Cyberpunk.
They about
in first in Porter Rock.
That's what they're gonna hype. They're gonna hype Cyberpunk. That's all they got.
And that's that game that you always talked about. Deus Ex, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's the same game. Like people walking around with cybernetics hacking into stuff.
Yeah.
Same game.
Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, my man J Dub.
Yo. As usual, it's always seeing the platinum cast of the PlayStation Nation in the house. Man, thanks for having me on. As usual, you guys know where to find me on Twitter, kicking up dust, starting fires. Keep, and he trying to make you guys
him out
laugh.
either. He out of water.
Yeah.
we contained them. They're on one podcast on an evening podcast now. So if you want to go over there and get a good laugh in, there you go.
Hey, I remember back in the day, like last year and the year before that, me and J-Dub used to go back and forth for who gonna tweet what. Nowadays, I let that nigga have it. Like, hey,
that's just get out of the way.
Yo, J Dub be like this.
I'm gonna play these games.
He can be like, oh, I got him. Yo, he even makes up shit. He's like, I got him. Yo, and he riles him up anyway. But
He's
anyway,
going ham, bro, lately. So shout out to you, man.
So shout out to the chat. Thank you for rocking out with me, spending time. For now, it'll be. We'll knock this out week to week. I know everybody's quarantined, staying home. Everybody's trying to do what they got to do. Around August is when I'll be able, with input from these guys on what they can do, whatever, because I truly appreciate their time and stuff. We'll try to make this at a consistent day, at a consistent time, based on, the panel's input. But that won't be till August, because like I said, I'll be going to California in July, get my apartment, get on my internet, get my furniture, so there's a lot of logistics I got to do before I can retackle this. But while I'm here in Germany, week to week, we'll get together. Any bullshit that we hear from the Xbox community, as Craig says it, right? We're going to cut the shit because I can't take it. There's too much bullshit being spread, and we gotta cut it out. You know what I'm saying? We got to cut it out for the PlayStation fans. You understand what I'm saying? But with that, thanks for rocking out with us. We truly appreciate it. For the people who did a super chat, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much, for just hooking and rocking out with us and stuff like that. And thank you for being PlayStation gamers. Period. But anyway, on the real, enjoy gaming on whatever platform you play. You know what I'm saying? Like Craig said, just play games. Man, get up in there, play some games. All right? We out of here.
That's a fact, mostly. Yeah, peace.
And that's it.